Horoscope for April 28, 2021. Like this video and write a comment before watching. It helps create new videos every day. Aries. This morning's Sun-Jupiter aspect can bring on a wave of optimism. Dear Aries. Still, it's not the most stable energy. And it's all too easy to overshoot. It's wonderful to dream and to aspire. But if you overdo things now, you'll exhaust yourself for true opportunity periods. Be especially conscious of being fair and using common sense for best results today. The Sun in your sign has been encouraging a personal focus and efforts towards self-improvement, while Jupiter is pushing performance, ambition, or career and accomplishment. You want to do both well, but something has to give. The Moon moves into your social sector today, and this is another reason for you to take some of the pressure off. Relationships improve today with extra effort to validating one another's input. Making a special effort to listen before speaking can do wonders for a bond. Taurus. A rather charged atmosphere this morning can mean that debates quickly turn into arguments. Dear Taurus. It's a good idea to aim to be balanced and discreet since things can easily run away from you otherwise. The desire for something new is strong, but another part of you isn't ready to explore. You may feel dissatisfied with the status quo, particularly related to your life experiences and time set aside for learning and living. It's a good time to explore your options, but big decisions may be left for a more balanced time. It's also a fine day for expanding your views of a situation. It feels great to learn new things. The Moon moves to the top of your solar chart today, and as the day advances, you'll be more focused on responsibilities and goals. Getting along with others can be the key to successful business dealings today. Even if you're working remotely, this energy can apply to daily life and routines. You're in a good position to get into a healthy pattern. Gemini. This morning's Sun-Jupiter square suggests some drama or exaggeration in your life. Dear Gemini. You may notice that there's increased pressure on you from friends or networks. Or you may have difficulties balancing your intimate life and your social life. If this aspect plays out on an emotional level, you can feel torn between wanting closeness and needing some time and space to detach. If you've been expecting more from a recent endeavor or even relationship, this can be a time when you question your next step. Consider that waning enthusiasm is likely only temporary before making sweeping decisions. The Moon moves into your spirit sector for a couple of days, and this helps you rise above problems to let your spirit soar. Feelings are complicated, but you're in great shape for talking them through. Cancer. Today's Sun-Jupiter square aspect can point to desires that are hard to fulfill. Dear Cancer. Do your best not to skip steps because you're anxious to get the ball rolling. Pushing too hard towards a goal can wear you down or overwhelm you, which is counterproductive. Pacing yourself comes easier as the day advances, but can come in handy all day. Opening your mind to new possibilities and ideas is entirely worthwhile now. The Moon heads into your intimacy sector for a couple of days, and you'll demand a little more from your activities or relationships as you seek more depth, substance, or involvement. It's a good time for better cooperation with family or loved ones. Leo. There can be some early day pressures. Dear Leo. If you get the sense that you don't have the time or energy to accomplish your goals, avoid skipping important steps to reach an objective, and consider pacing yourself instead. The desire for some freedom from restrictions and routines is strong, yet you're also inclined to take on more tasks. Doing more doesn't always get you closer to the end. The tendency is to distract yourself too easily now with the belief that you can do more than is reasonably possible. Try not to add to your pile, since feeling overwhelmed is counterproductive. As the day advances, you can feel especially connected to someone or excited and motivated by a personal interest or cause. Virgo. Instincts for financial matters may be out of step early today. Dear Virgo. Or you may be tempted to shoot too high when moderation would benefit you most. You may swing from wanting more or less of a situation or person. There can be questions about commitment, whether to a person, idea, or project, and you may feel temporarily overwhelmed. You might question the viability of a project, The energies of the second half of the day tend to smooth over the rough edges, and a soothing or inspiring conversation may be part of this. This is a good time for dreaming up plans and ideas, and your instinct to listen more than talk is on point. A bond can improve as you pay more attention to validating someone's feelings and opinions. The moon's move into your work and health sector for a couple of days suggests you'll want to get busy with organizing. Libra. Any discontent you've been harboring recently can emerge today. Dear Libra, a Sun-Jupiter square energizes your sectors of home, family, and partnerships early today can stir up restlessness. There can be so many things you want to do, but it's hard to put them into action. The key is to start smaller and work yourself up. You have a stronger need for security and a sense of belongingness, but it's important to take independent steps to achieve these rather than waiting for others to fill these needs. As the day progresses, you are likely to feel far more comfortable in your own skin. You can come to a better understanding of a situation or a concept that has been difficult to accept. It's easier to interact healthily when you feel more centered and on top of things. Scorpio. A Sun-Jupiter square early today can bring a building conflict to a head. Dear Scorpio, particularly if you have a little too much going on in your life right now. The Sun in your work and health sector has been encouraging you to improve your routine game. And Jupiter in your communications sector is curious and hungry to learn and pursue more casual interests. A checkpoint on a project can reveal you're falling behind. And if so, then it's time to remind yourself of motivators and to adjust expectations to more realistic levels. There could be some moodiness if you haven't accomplished all that you wanted to do, but a new plan of action can emerge that suits you well. The moon moves into your home and family sector for a couple of days, and this transit reminds you to slow down and pay more attention to what your heart needs. Sagittarius. Early today, there can be a tendency to go a little overboard. Dear Sagittarius, as the Sun and Jupiter come to a square, Jupiter encourages you to enjoy comforts while the Sun wants you to move out of your comfort zone to find new pleasures and channels for expression. Whether it's about wanting to impress someone you love or simply because you're in a good mood and want to share, the tendency is to go over the top. You can have a good time today, but it's best to know your limits. Unrest or discontent may very well spur you to make a positive change. The day advances with a good energy for finding interesting things to do and learn. Pacing yourself seems to be your best bet. Capricorn. The first half of the day holds rather complicated energies. Dear Capricorn, and you can feel somewhat restless as a result. You might experience a conflict between nurturing your strong need for security and safety and your similarly big desire for personal space and a sense of autonomy. While you can imagine all sorts of things you'd like to accomplish, part of you is holding back, or the demands of home and family are keeping you feeling tied down. Consider ways to manage your expectations, strike a compromise, and find a better balance. The second half of the day promises more ease and acceptance. Simplifying becomes far easier to do, and you might come to a better understanding with someone that helps you feel more productive and less distracted. Aquarius. Again today, it's best to wait before jumping into something new or a promise. Dear Aquarius, if you've become a little too short-sighted recently due to a hectic schedule, you'll feel the need for some mental refreshment now. Aim to see the flaws in your plans that need some polishing rather than gloss them over, as it will help you later. Seek balance for best results now. While the energy of a Sun-Jupiter square this morning can stir up restlessness and perhaps a desire to do or take on more, it's better to keep things on an even keel right now. What seems to be optimism may be overshooting or wishful thinking. The day advances with a good energy for enjoying some creative escape. The moon enters your sign today, amping up your feelings and the need to express them creatively. Pisces. You may be discovering some flaws in a plan, project, dream, or an area where you may have been overshooting or overdoing. Dear Pisces, find ways to pare down a little to keep things real, but also try to stay positive and open to possibilities. The desire to expand on projects, socialize, or make connections is strong, but you could feel torn as you're also seeking more security and comfort. It may be best to wait for a day when you see things more clearly to make a big purchase. As the day progresses, a gentler pace comes more naturally. You're in a great position to find creative ways to meet all of your needs without putting pressure on yourself. The moon moves into your solar 12th house for a couple of days, putting the focus on winding down, recuperating, and healing.